Hello, this video is brought to you by my supporters on Patreon. Minasan, arigatou gozaimasu. And a special shout out to the sea and poetry. My name is Kurt, and this is my daily good life meditation, an exercise that I do every morning a little bit after waking up. It's now 4:42 a.m. I do this to remember my life objectives and principles, those which are outlined in my book, Going Alone. You can get a copy from the link down in the description. I highly recommend the hardcover edition. I also use this time to think about the last 24 hours, including last night, how I did with the various challenges and opportunities I met. I then plan for the coming day and ready myself for death. But before I do any of that, I like to read a poem. And I'm going to read one last time, Man and Dog by Edward Thomas. I've got a few more vocabulary to add that I picked out. First of all, and this is the story of a poem about the author meeting an old man and his dog on the road. And apparently the man was traveling between Alton and Chalgrove in England. And I looked up both of those locations in south of England. Actually, Alton is more like just kind of west of London. Flint picking. Yesterday I thought that might be picking up the grains of wheat from a field after the harvest. I was close, not quite. I don't know where I thought I came up with that. Flint, obviously it says right there. Flint picking is an activity to wander around looking for small pieces of flint that can be worked into tools or used for fire making, etc. Flint picking. Navying. Navvying. I thought yesterday that meant that you were the person was either in the Navy or like a merchant seaman. In fact, it turns out that it's neither of those. It's a term to describe the job of canal digging, navying. And it comes from the old word not the old word, but the word navigator. Somehow, navigator became navying, which refers to canal digging. So something that the man had spent his time doing was navying, canal digging, so not sailing. And then I looked up the word couch, because it's talking about like a form of plant. It says here, in half the shires where corn and couch will grow. The ChatGPT didn't know what couch was relative to a plant. Thought maybe a plant that you grow next to your couch. Good guess. Okay, let's begin. I'll try not to. Yesterday I tried to take on the air of the old man at the points where I saw the quotation marks. I failed at that. So this time I'll just read it through and I'll let you supply that, although you don't have the benefit of seeing the quotation marks where they are. Man and dog. 'Twill take some getting, sir, I think 'twill so. The old man stared up at the mistletoe. Try this again. 'Twill take some getting, sir, I think 'twill so. The old man stared up at the mistletoe that hung too high in the poplar's crest for plunder of any climber, though not for kissing under. Then he went on against the northeast wind, straight but lame, leaning on a staff new-skinned, carrying a brawly, flag basket, and old coat, towards Alton, 10 miles off, and he had not done less from Chalgrove, where he pulled up docks. 'Twere best, if he had a money box, to have waited there till the sheep cleared the field, for what a half-week's flint picking would yield. His mind was running on the work he had done since he left Christchurch in the New Forest one spring in the 70s, navying on dock and line from Southampton on to Newcastle on Tyne. In 74 a year of soldiering with the Berkshires, hoeing and harvesting in half the shires where corn and couch will grow. His sons, 3 sons, were fighting, but the hoe and reap hook he liked, or anything to do with trees. He fell once from a poplar tall as these, the flying man they called him in hospital. If I flew now, to another world I'd fall. He laughed and whistled to the small brown bitch with spots of blue that hunted in that ditch. Her foxy Welsh grandfather must have paired beneath him, He kept sheep in Wales and scared strangers. I will warrant, with his pearl eye and trick of shrinking off as if he were shy, then following close in silence. For what? No rabbit, never fear, she ever got, yet always hunts. Today she nearly had one. She would, and she wouldn't. 'Twas like that, the bad one. She's not much use, but she's company. Though I'm not. She goes everywhere with me. So, Alton I must reach tomorrow night. I must reach tonight somehow. I'll get no shakedown with that bedfellow from farmers. Many a man sleeps worse tonight than I shall. In the trenches. Yes, that's right. But they'll be out of that, I hope they be. This weather, marching after the enemy. And so I hope. Good luck. And there I nodded. Good night. You keep straight on. Stiffly he plodded, and at his heels the crisp leaves scurried fast, and the leaf-colored robin watched. They passed the robin till next day, the man for good, together in the twilight of the wood. That could have been me, very easily. That old man. And now I realize that the 74 wasn't the year 74, but 74 years of age. That's how old the man was. The man is still living on the road, essentially homeless, sleeping in the brush, naving as his past career, ditch digging. Now I see the flint picking, waiting for the sheep to clear the field so that he could flint pick, get a week's worth, and earn a little bit of keep. Walking with a dog that's otherwise useless, almost could probably catch the rabbit, but doesn't. Remembering his youth and the tree that he fell from, and how it would kill him now. As he describes this, and I picture him sleeping in the farmer's field, out in the open, with the farmer safe and warm with his wife indoors. I feel a bit of loneliness, a strike of loneliness for the old man, who will pass this way and never again, although the robin will be back tomorrow. That could have been me. Man, I almost went down that path. I was going down that path. I was, a good, almost to the bend in the road, maybe just beyond the bend in the road. 24 years of age, down that path. Thank goodness I turned around and went back. Although I certainly would have been an interesting road. I think it would have wound in loneliness and poverty and an empty promise. I don't know. It's hard to know, right? It's a gamble, though. There is something to be said for the low road in life. It's a sobering thought. Okay, snap out of it, Kurt. Poetry does this to me. I am pretty sure this is the book that I'm going to carry with me in Japan. And going forward, once I finish it, I won't get rid of it. I'll stuff it in my pack, and there it will remain to refer to over and again for the rest of my life. Even though I can't remember his name, every time I try, I'm like, who's this author? I have to look at the cover. Edward Thomas, that's right. Love him to death, but I can't remember his name. Okay, let's begin yesterday and last night. Powerfully good day yesterday. In the morning, I talked about this yesterday in my Wabi Sabi afternoon video, so I won't go on and on again, but had an incredibly productive day. My professional skills are reaching an apogee of sorts, and I think I'm doing really good work. I'm very pleased with yesterday. The afternoon was kind of a slower pace, less than slower pace, but I more than made up for it in the morning, which was like 4.5 hours of solid, maybe 5 hours of solid hard work. Got so much done. been a good week. Hard week, though, incredibly hard week. No particular challenges that I can refer to yesterday, other than the challenge of making it a good day, setting out a course of action to itemize a list of things I would do, and then executing those one after another, throwing myself headlong into my work, doing the very best I could. Oh, and I'm this close to finding a place and reserving a place to live in. The start of my new adventure in life. Should I go far? Should I go far or stay near? It's so scary to go far. But if it did soon. It trickles off the tongue. Because what I mean by that is I found a place here in Diamond Bar, which is like 30 minutes from work. Kind of a dull pedestrian looking guest house on a 4-acre ranch in the hills where I could live with the dogs, and has a beautiful place for workspace. Good place to start with. I could spend the month of June there. But do I want to do that? Wouldn't it be better to have an adventure, make it really more of an adventure? I think so. Maybe go farther. It's scary, right? But I mean, this is like the sanctioned adventure, right? I mean, wife and daughter will be gone. I'll just be me and the dogs. Everything will be gone. I'll have my book of poetry and my laptop and my days. Why not make them the best of them? Yeah, I think so. It takes courage, though. Okay, the good life. My 8 objectives are to be always ready to die, to make good and effective use of time, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles, to cultivate good emotional reactions, to perform good actions, to recognize my true limits and true opportunities, to do just one thing at a time, and do that thing slowly and deliberately and carefully, and to maintain my balance at all times. My 35 principles are war, reason, homunculus, anchor hold, home of good and evil, purpose, atomic principle, principle of nature, the pirate ride, maturity, social principle, family, public speaking, temperance. Life will not go well, the horror show, that which must be born, the feast of woeful, distraction, agency and the great indifference, the best seat in the house, the restless man, the path of wildness, the great life adventure, the risk of avoiding risk, sin and damnation, complete oblivion, the season of philosophy, script writing, the bullseyeing, the uphill climb, arena and utility, nothing is enough, the principle of fun, and being ready. Okay, as for today, it's a Friday on, so I have to do 3 things, mainly. I have to prepare a status report for my big project, or I have status reports for all of my projects, but right now I just have one project that I'm focused on through the month of October, so I'll create the status report for that. I'll have a meeting with the project managers for that project. Then I will I'll work to prepare for next week, getting together my meeting agenda for my big meeting on Monday, and laying out all the work for the coming week. Plus, I'll go over, review all of the scoping documents for everything. Should take the full day. It's only an 8-hour day today, so should be a good day, good productive day, especially after this week. Great week. Am I ready for death? Are my affairs in order? They are. Are my relationships sound? They are. I have a new strategy for dealing with my mom. I don't know why it took me this long to realize. When I call her, our conversations always go good. Always. When she calls me, our conversations always go bad. Or very difficult, if not bad. It takes a lot of temperance and restraint on my part, because typically she only calls me with crazy. Sorry to use that language, but it is. She calls me when she's got some wild, crazy idea, or, I hate to use this language, but it's true, evil intent. Because Because my mom is the only person I've ever met that I'm confident wishes me harm. I know that from a lifetime of experience. So she'll get in her mind a new idea that she can use to hurt me or my brother. That's why he doesn't talk to her anymore. The only reason I do anymore is that I want to fulfill my duty to be there to help to soften her fall when she eventually falls in life. And she's 87 after all. And, she's not going to last forever. Anyway, when she calls me, she's got bad stuff. It's going to go bad. It's going to either require incredible restraint on my part to just hold the line and not give in to responding to the mean things she says, or I'll wind up just ending the call. Only a couple times have I ever hung up on her. Usually she gets so frustrated that I'm not responding and getting upset that she'll hang up on me. But if I call her, it always goes well. So my main reason to keep in touch with my mom at this point, like I said, is that it's like welfare checks to make sure she's okay. And I have a huge bank of time offers saved aside that if she does need me, I can take time off and go attend to her needs, and whatever it is. Like if she gets hurt and needs to go to the hospital, I can go tend to all of that. So I started something new. She can leave me voicemail. She knows how to do that. If she calls me and it's important, she'll leave me a voicemail. If I don't hear from her for a week, I'll call her and it'll go well. So I just don't pick up her phone calls anymore. And she does leave voicemail, and they're crazy and they're mean. They're downright evil sometimes, the things she says in the voicemail. And I don't have to even hear it. I can just look at the transcript and I go, oh boy, this is not something that, I'm glad I didn't pick that one up. Because when she's got me on the line, it's like a fish on the hook. She's got a hook in there, and it takes a while to extricate myself from that. It's not because she doesn't believe in catch and release. I think this is working. So I keep up my weekly cadence of keeping in touch with her. She reaches out to me. If it's a voicemail, if she winds up in the hospital or she's fallen down and she can't get up, but she's got her phone, she can call me and say, I've fallen down and I can't get up. I'll call her right back. I'll get in the car and go do what I can. Call 911, get somebody out there, right? Whatever it takes, all the above. If it's just calling up to say mean things, then she'll say her mean things into the phone. I can review the transcript and go from there. I think this will work. It's already working. Like I said, I've had like 3 to 5 calls this week. I'm glad I didn't get any of them, because none of them were really important. All of them were just mean. So yeah, I think I'm ready to die. My relationships are in order as well, and my life's work is complete. What I mean by saying all that about my mom is my relationship is in order, as best order I can under the circumstances, right? All right. That's it. I'm done. 18 minutes, 18 and a half. Okay, that's a long one. I wish you all the best. Be safe, but not too safe. Take care. Gary, if you see this, I can't wait to see you, Gary. It's going to be nice. I'm going to get a copy of Going On signed for you, okay? Really looking forward to it.